produce throughout the dry season. So literally what you find is that buyers will come to the farm to buy your produce. And you're growing high-value crops, fruits and vegetables, because those are the things that are really not available in between the rain-fed harvests. Now there's no history, or very, very little history of irrigation in sub-Saharan Africa. In fact, less than 4% of farmland in sub-Saharan Africa is irrigated. Now you compare that to Asia, where over 40% is irrigated, or you compare that to India, where over 50% is irrigated. You can see that we're really fallen behind on irrigation. And as a result, there's really no affordable technologies for irrigation, and there's very little knowledge amongst the smallholder farmers about irrigation. So what KickStart does is we develop and promote extremely low cost, very affordable, very robust irrigation pumps. Because of course a pump is the most critical thing. You've got to bring the water from the source to the farm. And we do this, and we put these pumps on the local market, selling them through local distributors and retail shops. And so the pumps are absolutely available. And then farmers can buy those.
Water resources. And so you're irrigating from that. You don't care about the rain. You can bring out those crops at any time. And then when the drought comes and the rains fail, not to worry, because you have planted your rain-fed crops as well, but now you can save them with your irrigation system. And of course, if your crops are very unlucky and get washed away in a flood, you can replant immediately because you have the irrigation system instead of waiting for the next rains. And so there's a huge potential for irrigation. And KickStart has been selling these pumps across sub-Saharan Africa now for quite a number of years, really since 2000. And we started in Kenya. We came down to Tanzania in 2002. And we've sold about 60,000 of our low-cost pumps here in Tanzania. They're called Moneymaker pumps. And why Moneymaker pumps? Because a smallholder farmer wants to make money. And so we sell the Moneymaker pump. And of course, we've sold about 60,000 in Tanzania. We've sold so many others in other countries. Overall, we've sold almost 400,000 of these pumps. But now to reach the farmers and educate the farmers, we partner with multiple different organizations. We partner with government agencies. We partner with nonprofits. We partner with microfinance organizations. And we partner with anybody who is already working with smallholder farmers, to reach the farmers, to educate the farmers, to help the farmers to access these irrigation technologies, and to train the farmers about irrigation, how to make money from irrigated farming. And as a result, many, many people have used these pumps now to completely climb out of poverty. Unfortunately, during the COVID years, we didn't have a lot of activity going on here in Tanzania because of the whole disruption that happened. But now we're back here in Tanzania, and we're really having an event today to relaunch KickStart International and our presence here in Tanzania, but also to launch a very new technology, a brand new, extremely low-cost pump, a pump which is going to be retailing at about 200,000 shillings, including the pump and the hose pipes and everything you need to start irrigating. Now, our pumps are human-powered pumps, but they're very easy to use. Use human power. You're pulling water from a shallow well or from a river or from a stream or a lake or water catchment, and you're putting it through a hose pipe onto the crops. So very, very efficient irrigation right onto your crops, growing high-value fruits and vegetables throughout the dry season and selling them for a lot of money. So that's KickStart. And very happy to take any questions. We're here with the professor, Kenneth, and as our guest of honor, and we're here with the ambassador from Italy, and we're going to have an event here this evening where we launch both KickStart's relaunch in Kenya and also the launch of our new starter pump, this very low-cost pump. So, would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Would you like to start first? Then I do the closing. Please, please. If you would like to, please.
You wanna just switch position with me?
So we stay in the middle.
Yeah, so we don't have to move all these 10
Our
microphones.
guest of honor first, and
I'm sorry, I did a bad job of introducing yourself, so please
No,
introduce yourself.
Kwa nini?
Kisema Kiswahili.
No. Maybe let me roll out direct to Swahili.
Swahili.
Yeah,
please.
I can speak Swahili.
Karibu sana.
Haina shida. Kwa jina ni Professor Kenneth Benges, ni mkurugenzi mkuu wa Bodi ya Sukari Tanzania. Niko hapa jioni hii kushirikiana na wenzetu wa KickStart International ambao wanakwenda kuzindua pampu mpya ambayo itakwenda tumika kwenye umwagiliaji. Lakini niko hapa kwa niaba ya kumwakilisha Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Kilimo ambaye yeye ndo alikuwa awe mgeni rasmi jioni hii, lakini kwa bahati mbaya amepata dharura, hakuweza kushiriki na sisi. Kwa hiyo ameniomba nitangulize huo udhuru ili muweze kupokea na muelewe kwamba yeye ni mdau wa kilimo na anapenda sana kilimo. Kwa hiyo kwenye tukio kama hili asingeweza kukosekana. Ukiona ameshindwa ujue kweli amebanwa. Lakini pamoja na kushiriki katika tukio hili, kuna mambo ambayo ameniagizia niweze kuyasema jioni hii ya leo. Yeye kama waziri wa kilimo, lakini kwa niaba ya serikali ya awamu ya 6 iliyo chini ya Mheshimiwa Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassani, ili tuweze kujua serikali ina mtazamo gani na miradi kama hii ambayo inakuja kuongezea kwenda kuchachusha au kuongezea nguvu kwenye jitihada ambazo tayari zinafanywa na serikali. Nichukue tu nafasi hii kwanza kuwashukuru KickStart International kuona umuhimu wa kuialika serikali kuweza kujumuika nanyi jioni hii ya leo, na hii inaonyesha ni kwa namna gani nyie kama wadau wa sekta binafsi mnaona umuhimu wa serikali kuweza kushirikiana na nyie. Na kwa hili jioni hii niwahakikishie kwamba serikali iko bega kwa bega na sekta binafsi na wadau wengine kuhakikisha kwamba tunakwenda kubadilisha kilimo cha nchi hii na tukifanye kiwe kilimo chenye tija, ili tuweze kuwakwamua wakulima wetu ambao kwa muda mrefu wamekuwa wakilima kilimo cha kujikimu. Kama tunavyofahamu, wakulima wa Tanzania ni wakulima wengi, ni wakulima wadogo. Na hii sio kwa Tanzania tu, ni kwa Afrika nzima. Tunaposema ni wakulima wadogo, ni wakulima ambao wanazalisha au wanalima kilimo cha kujikimu, kwa maana kwamba wanazalisha kiasi kidogo ambacho hakiwapi ziada ya kutosha ya kuweza kuuza ili waweze kupata faida. Na hii inasababishwa na mambo mengi. Kilimo chetu kimekuwa ni kilimo cha kutegemea mvua. Bila mvua hakuna kilimo. Na hilo limekuwa ni kikwazo kikubwa sana ambacho kimekwamisha wakulima wetu wengi kutokunufaika na uwekezaji ambao wamekuwa wakiufanya katika kilimo wanachokiendesha. Sasa kwa kutambua hilo, unapokuwa unategemea mvua, matokeo yake yanakupeleka kuwa na tija ndogo sana. Unapokuwa na tija ndogo, unufaiki na kilimo kwa sababu gharama ya uzalishaji inakuwa ni kubwa kuliko uwekezaji ambao umeuwekeza pale. Sasa tunapoona matatizo haya ya kutegemea sana mvua ndo ambayo yamekuwa yakitukwamisha, tunaona sasa hata serikali kwa sasa hivi inaweka msukumo mkubwa sana kuhakikisha kwamba tunatoka kwenye kilimo cha cha kutegemea mvua tunakwenda kwenye kilimo cha umwagiliaji. Ndio utaona serikali hata katika bajeti yake ya miaka miwili mfululizo imeongeza bajeti yake kwa zaidi ya 300%. Hii yote ni kuhakikisha kwamba, na nguvu kubwa utaona imewekwa kwenye miundombinu ya umwagiliaji. Sasa tunapoona wadau kama hawa wa KickStart International wanakuja na miradi kama hii, inakuwa ni faraja sana kwa serikali, kwa sababu wanaunga mkono juhudi za serikali za kuhakikisha kwamba wakulima wetu tunawawekea miundombinu ya umwagiliaji, na hiyo miundombinu ya umwagiliaji inapokuwa imekamilika waweze kulima kilimo kitakachokuwa na tija. Utaona serikali imeweka nguvu kwenye upatikanaji wa mbolea za ruzuku, lakini vile vile inajenga miundombinu ya umwagiliaji, lakini imewekeza sana kwenye mbegu bora, ili yote hii imsaidie mkulima aweze kuwa na tija. Sasa tofauti ya KickStart International na wadau wengine ambao tunafanya nao katika serikali, utaona kwamba wao wamelenga kuwa na teknolojia ambazo ni rahisi, kwa maana kwamba inapatikana kwa gharama ndogo sana, na hii ni teknolojia ambayo inafaa kwa wakulima wadogo kabisa, kuanzia yule wa chini kabisa, ambao kwa msingi ndio wengi. Ukiangalia watu wa teknolojia wengine wa hizi za umwagiliaji, utakuta ziko gari sawa, unakuta pampu moja inauzwa kwenye milioni moja na kuendelea. Lakini hapa tumesikia tulipokuwa tunapokea wasilisho la mwanzilishi wa kampuni hii na CEO ndugu Fisher, ametuambia pampu yao ya kisasa itakuwa inapatikana kwa shilingi kuanzia milioni 2, kuanzia shilingi 200,000. Hii ni bei ndogo ambayo itawawezesha wakulima hata wale wa mboga mboga kuweza kumudu gharama hizo, kuinunua na kuweza kuitumia katika kuzalisha mazao yao kwa tija. Na tumeambiwa pampu hiyo sio pampu tu, kuna pampu lakini ni pamoja na vifaa vyake, ile mipira kwa ajili ya kumwagilia. Kwa hiyo unaweza ukaona kabisa wametoa solution ya tatizo ambalo limekuwa likiwakabili wakulima wetu kwa muda mrefu. Kwa hiyo nichukue nafasi hii kuwapongeza sana KickStart International kwa ubunifu hayo. Serikali kwa kweli itakuwa inaipa ushirikiano wa kutosha ili kuhakikisha kwamba tunawafikia wakulima walio wengi maeneo yale ya vijijini kabisa, ambako hawawezi kumudu gharama ya mitambo ya umwagiliaji ambayo imekuwa ya gharama kubwa. Kwa baada ya kusema hayo machache, niwashukuru sana kwa kunisikiliza, lakini niseme tu kwamba serikali itatoa ushirikiano wa kutosha na tutaendelea kufanya pamoja na sekta binafsi. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.
Can we switch?
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Habari za jioni, mimi ninaitwa Marco Lombardi, ni balozi wa Italia nchini Tanzania. Good evening everybody, I'm very happy to be here. You know, since I arrived here 2 years ago, one of the first words that I've learned in Swahili is maji, water. And another word that I've learned is health. So I think that afia and water are two key words in Tanzania. Because of that, as Embassy of Italy, we are working very hard in order to help and partner with our Tanzanian friends in order to create opportunities in irrigation through Oikos NGO, with the cooperation of the Italian Agency for Development and Cooperation. We did in the area of Arusha an important irrigation project that is providing water to more than 10,000 people. And also we have just signed last June a memorandum of understanding for an irrigation project in the area of Dodoma, thanks to the contribution of our agency for credit to export SACE, we will have like Italian private companies investing in water and irrigation. So I really hope they will team up with you, and I really hope that we will do a joint effort in order to bring health and especially welfare to everybody, because the interest of Italy is your interest. So basically, we all believe with all our international friends that if you grow, if you become rich, if you have knowledge to develop your own economy, your own welfare, you will become very interesting for having business-to-business relation, and we will be able to create mutual benefits together. So our goal is to have like a win-win scenario when we will have exchange on mutual level. So we will be like peer-to-peer, and looking at the figures, Tanzania has a population of 6 million people. That is more or less like the one of Italy, but in a country that is 3 times bigger than Italy. And so because of that, we are very interested on a market that is full of potential. So we are there ready to work with you, to share our knowledge, to create something that can be extremely useful for both Tanzania and Italy and all the other international players. So that's why I'm very grateful of your presence as a guest of honor tonight, because I think that without the support of Tanzanian authorities, you know, we cannot go there, because luckily for you, the state is here, is very present. You are looking after everybody, and this is very important. So to have you to put your knowledge for the wealth and the benefit of all the community is very and extremely important. So we have a common background with you, and we really hope to grow together and to create mutual benefits. Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and I don't like to speak too much, so please forgive me if I stop here, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Peter will say a few words here.
Yes,
Let
please.
Peter come across, say a few words, maybe.
I go, yes.
Okay. Maybe you come. No, just sit there. Oh, okay. So, thank you very much. My name is Peter Juma, and I'm the President and Chief Operating Officer for KickStart. And mine is very simple. All has been said. Mine is just to really appreciate the support and commitment we received from the government of Tanzania, from our lovely President, Suluhu, and Mr. Basha, who is now represented here by the professor. Thank you so much. Please pass our regards to the government, because, as the ambassador has said, the government plays a very key role, especially in policy formulation and laying the right infrastructure for the things like the ones we are doing to really be successful. So we really appreciate the government standing behind KickStart to do this great job. As Martin said, we are here for the smallholder farmers. We want our farmers to really take on farming as a business, not just for subsistence, but to really start making money, because we know that the #1 need of a poor person is a way to make money. And that's why we have christened our pumps Moneymaker pumps, because we want the farmers to make money. So thanks so much, Professor, for being here on behalf of the government. We really appreciate. The government has worked with the KickStart for all these years. As Martin said, we've been here for now close to 20 years. And all this year, we've received a lot of support from the government, especially even on the import side and stuff like that. And secondly, I really wanted to appreciate the international community that is represented here by the Honorable Ambassador from Italy. Thank you so much. We know Italy hosts the UN body for addressing food, FAO. And so this is really a great honor that the mission of Italy in this country is here with us to really support us, and more so to support the smallholder farmers. And we want to thank, nataka kuwashukuru Watanzania wote kwa wale ambao wageni wamekuja kusimama na sisi leo, sana sana serikali ya Rais Suluhu ambayo imewakilisha hapa na profesa, na pia kushukuru ambassador kutoka Italy ambao pia amekuja kusimama pamoja na sisi siku ya leo. Siku ya leo ni siku muhimu sana kwa sababu vile tumeambiwa tunataka ku-unveil ile pump ambayo ni the cheapest kwa sahi kwa hili bara la Afrika. Vile tumeambiwa hii pump ambayo tunataka ku-unveil leo itauzwa kwa shilingi 200,000 peke yake. Kwa hivyo tunafikiria hii ndio pump ambayo wakulima wengi ambao bado mapato yao ni machache wataweza kuwa na uwezo wa kuweza kuwa na chile chombo ambao wanaweza kutumia kwa ukulima wao ili waongeze mazao na pia waongeze hali yao ya uchumi. Kwa hivyo ni kuwashukuru, nataka kusema asante sana na Mungu awabariki. Asanteni. Yes. Asante. So vile tumesema tumekuwa hapa kwa muda mrefu na tumekuwa tuna promote ile pump ambayo kwa kizungu inaitwa treadle pump ambayo imeuzika sana. Zile namba ambazo mkurugenzi mkuu Martin amesema karibu 60,000 ni ile ya treadle pump. Hiyo pump inaweza kuvuta maji kutoka kwa kisima ambao ni urefu wa mita 7. Na mita 7 hiyo ni kama kitu kama futi 21. Kwa hivyo kama mkulima kuna kisima ama kuna kidimbwi cha maji na anataka njia ya kutoa yale maji kutoka mahali ambapo maji iko ile apeleke kwa shamba lake, hii pump itamwezesha kutoa hiyo maji kutoka pale kwa kidimbwi, bora ni urefu ni futi 21, na aweze kupampa hiyo maji na aipeleke kwa shamba lake. Na tuseme pengine mkulima akona tanki ya juu, pengine kwa sababu kuna wakulima wengine wanafanya ile inaitwa drip irrigation. Wanataka wapeleke maji kwa tanki, alafu hiyo maji iteremuke ikiingia kwa shamba. Hii pump pia unaweza kupamp maji kutoka pale kwa kisima na upandishe kwa mita 7 zingine ambao ni futi 21. So kwa kizungu tunasema ile sanction head ya 21 feet na pressure head ya another 21 feet. Na kwa ile on flat ground, hii pump ambao tuna unveil leo, mkulima anaweza sukuma maji kwa zaidi ya mita 150. So on a flat ground. So tuseme uko na kisima chako hapa na shamba lako liko tuseme mita 100, unaweza sukuma maji na hii pump kufikisha pale kwa shamba lako. Na ile kubwa ambao tumekuwa tunauza hapa ile treadle pump, unaweza sukuma maji umbali wa futi 200 on a flat ground. Hapana, hizi ni pampu ziko manual. Zile pampu they are manually operated. Ingawaje bado saizi tunatengeneza pampu ya solar, lakini hiyo itakuja baadaye. Kwa sababu tunajua kwa sababu gani ukienda vijijini sana unapata maboma zetu bado hazijakuwa connected kwa stima. Sasa hata kumpatia mkulima ile pamba ambayo inahitaji kutumika stima na kule mashinani kule vijijini ambapo stima haijafika kule, baada itamsaidia. Na ukiangalia pia hali nyingine, ile pampu zingine ambazo wakulima wanaweza pia kupata ni pampu zinatumia mafuta, petroli ama dizeli. Na tunajua mafuta imepanda bei. Na pia huko ukienda pale mashinani kule vijijini pia mafuta kupatikana ni shida. Sasa sisi tuliona tukuje na kile chombo ambacho haitapatia mkulima shida zingine, shida za kutafuta mafuta na kushughulikia na ile bei kali ya mafuta, ama shida ya kuanza kufikiria sasa niko na pampu na nitatoa wapi sitima. Ndio tukasema tutengeneze kile chombo ambacho bado kitasaidia mkulima tu kama ile pampu nyingine ambayo inatumia stima ama mafuta, lakini asiwe tena anagaramika kwa vitu zingine. Yeah, hiyo ndio. Ile ndogo ni karibu nusu yake. Yeah. Ina maana kwamba anaweza mtu akamwagilia eka karibia 2 pasipokuwa na nguvu nyingi, na ile ndogo na pili moja kwa na robo. Yeah. So nirudie. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, lile jambo ambalo nilikuwa nimesahau kwa lile swali umeuliza, kando na ile hali ya kuvuta maji na kuisukuma, pia kwa ile inaitwa efficiency, hiyo pampu ile kubwa, kwa dakika moja, yani sekunde 60, unaweza inaweza pitisha karibu lita 60 za maji. Hiyo ni kama zile mitungi za lita 23 kwa sekunde 60. Na katika swali ni kiasi gani cha shamba ambacho ile pump inaweza mwagilia, ile kubwa ni zaidi ya hekari 2. Unaweza nyunyuzia 2 acres of land with ease. Alafu ile ndogo ambao tuna unveil leo, 3/4 of an acre, unaweza kumwagilia bila shida. Na tunajua ukiangalia upande wa kunyunyuzia mimea, inakuwa kazi mzuri ukiifanya asubuhi na jioni, kwa sababu pia maji imekuwa nadra siku hizi. Sasa wakulima pia wanaangalia njia za kuyachunga yale maji kidogo ambao wako nayo, na hizi pampu zinawezesha wakulima kuweza kutimiza lile lengo. Asante sana. Nashukuru.
Nashukuru sana.
Oh, that Kiswahili was tough.
Hongera sana. Asante sana.
Tumemaliza ya. Sasa tunataka kuendelea.
Nasikia? Hii kazi ilikuwa ni Okay. We can come nearer. There is a slight change of program and we would like to start with the demo. So I request you just come nearer so that we are done with this.
Kama sijajua hivi vio kama
ile hand pump ile
We can all come nearer the pumps, please. Tunaweza karibia hapa kwenye demo.
Tumeshaizindua nchi 8 sasa. Tanzania ni nchi ya 9. Ndio kazi tunafanya leo. Tumeshaizindua nchi 4 Afrika Kusini, nchi 5 Afrika ya Mashariki na nchi moja huko Afrika ya Magharibi. Na leo tunafurahi kuwa hapa Tanzania, the 9th country where we are launching this. So hii pump unaiona ni kama ile pump ya kawaida ile ya baiskeli inaitwa hand. Lakini tumeipatia teknolojia mpya tofauti na ile pump ile ya baiskeli ile ambao uko na pump na hii tumeipatia ile teknolojia inaitwa rocking technology. So ukipump unapump hivi. So Martin, maybe you can hold this for me. So this pump is operated like this, and we normally say it's on in the heel. So vile unaona kuna maji natoka mahali fulani. Okay, sawa. Unaona hii pump kwa sasa imewekelewa sprinklers sasa it's a pressure pump, as you can see. It's very easy to operate. You can see I'm just pushing this with my finger, because when you tell people this is a manual technology, to start thinking about how hard it is. I'm not using a lot of energy. I'm just pushing this with my finger, and you can see it is powering those sprinklers. It's not that this space is small, and that's why we only put the 2 sprinklers. But as I said during the press conference, this pump on a flat ground can push up to 150 meters on a flat ground. So assuming this is your source of water, either it's a well, it's a stream, it's a running river, it's a hand as well, or it's a water park where you collected your rainwater. And the next land is your neighbor's land, and your land is next. The next one is maybe 50 meters or 100 meters. You can actually pull water from this source to your farm. So it's about 150 meters. This is the one that I said can push up to 100 meters on a flat ground. The sanction depth of this is 6 meters. So between 6 to 7, the manufacturing design, 7 meters sanction depth. So it means if you have a well, so long as the water table can come up to 7 meters, that's about 21 feet, this pump can pull water from that well. And you can push. Like I said, there are some people, maybe they want to do drip irrigation or whatever reason, maybe they want to store water, because we've seen some of the farmers using this pump for domestic use. So you want to push water from your well and up to an overhead tank. Maybe you want that water for your domestic use. Although we designed it for agriculture, but we've seen other farmers doing that. You can push to an overhead tank if it is 7 meters. So another 21. So you're talking about 7 meters from the source, another 7 meters. But on a flat ground, 150 meters, 200 meters. So this is the treadle pump. We've sold about 60,000 of this in Tanzania. We've been here for so many years. All this year we've been supported by the Tanzanian government. At some point, actually, we used to get concession on duties and taxes on this pump. So this is the pump we've been promoting here for all these years through our partners. And this is the pump that now we are launching officially in Tanzania. We have a distributor here whom we are going to show you. Very soon he will be placing an order of this pump, so if you want it, you get it through our distributor and our network of outlets that are spread across the Tanzania. So that's how it's operated, like that. And then this treadle pump, again, it's very easy to operate. Again, you must be seeing maybe there must be some sprinklers somewhere. Just be very careful. Okay, we connect it to a nozzle because again the space is small within one. So this is a very powerful pump. If you were to connect a sprinkler to this pump, maybe we would have put it towards the end where the band is, because it will be splashing water all over. So we connected to a nozzle. That is a part that comes with the pump. It's part of the pump. And you can see, sorry about that. It's very easy. And you can easily irrigate with these 2 acres of land in a day. This pump, in 60 seconds, that's 1 minute, you can pump up to 60 liters of water. We are talking zile mitungi za lita 20 zile za mafuta ya Elianto ama ya kawaida ile, mitungi 3 kwa dakika moja unajaza na hii pump. Kama kuna swali lingine tunaweza kuuliza. Lakini asanteni kwa kusikiliza. So Nancy,
asante sana. Nadhani tulibadilisha ratiba kidogo, tutaongea swali kidogo ili kwa ajili ya wenzetu, alafu tutaendelea. Umeona pump zenyewe hizi zetu. Mimi kwa jina naitwa John Kuderuki, niko kwenye bodi ya KickStart hapa Tanzania. Na pump hizi tumeziingiza kwenye soko kwa muda mrefu, lakini tuseme kama zilipotea kidogo. Kwa hivyo kwa muda huu tumesema kwamba tutazindua upya, na tumepata baraka kidogo za serikali ili kuweza kushirikiana nao, na hivi karibuni tutakuwa tunatangaza baadhi ya warsha na mikutano mbalimbali ili kuzungumzia kuhusu masuala ya umwagiliaji na wakulima wadogo. Kwa hivyo jamani, tunafikiri tumekuwa tukisubiri kwa muda mrefu. Tunawakaribisha wageni wetu rasmi ndani. Distinguished guests, we would like you to please come and have a seat for our presentations inside. No?
Okay.
Kwa bei sasa hivi hili dogo ni $200,000 na hili kubwa ni $400,000. Ila hiyo ni kwa kila kitu, pampu nini na bomba zake, na kama unavyoona unamwagilia. Lakini labda nitoe kitu kimoja, kwamba serikali nayo imeshaangalia swala la kutoa kodi na ushuru ili iweze kufika hata labda kwenye $100,000.
Na nadhani kama gunia la mahindi ni $100,000, hakuna mkulima anaweza kukosa pampu, au sio? Jamani, karibuni ndani kwa wale ambao kwa ajili ya shughuli zitakazoendelea. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Could we please have you inside? I know we've changed the program a bit, but for the media's sake, and we want to get to the whole nation, we came out here for a little bit. Thank you very much. Please take your seats inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, karibuni sana. We have to apologize for changing the schedule. The schedule was started earlier, but because we had the opportunity to tell the whole country, we thought it would be a better idea to do that first. I hope that's okay. So I am going to welcome all of you. On behalf of representative on behalf of the government of the Republic of Tanzania, Professor Kenneth, and His Excellency, Honorable Marco Lombardi, the Ambassador of Italy to Tanzania, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed.
My name is John Kiruki, and I'm delighted to welcome you here to the launch of our KickStart Starter Pump, and as well delighted to have you here to join us to exchange ideas on how to take our small farmers out of poverty, not only in Tanzania but beyond. And I believe Tanzania can be a beacon and a leader in this area. So without further ado, and so that we can get into our program and enjoy the rest of the evening and have demonstrations and lots of exchange of good ideas, I'd like to welcome Peter Juma, our Chief Operating Officer and President of the organization. Peter.
Thank you so much, John. And thanks to everybody. So my job here is very simple. We know we are tired, some of us come straight from the HRF. And in fact, some of us started with the Article 11 Summit in Nairobi. Came here, so we are very cognizant of that. Professor Kenneth Bengesi, the Director General of the Sugar Board of Tanzania, His Excellency Marco Lombardi, the Ambassador of Italy to Tanzania, distinguished delegates representing various government institutions, local and international partners present, all ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. My name is Peter Juma. I'm the President and Chief Operating Officer of KickStart International. Born in a small village in Kenya. From a family. And that's why this day is very important to me. So as I said, I have a very brief short thing to do. First of all, I just want to introduce to us the team that is here, that has organized this event. And so I'll just quickly welcome the KickStart staff who are here with us to come in front so that people can know you. Because after this brief event, we'll have a session of interaction and networking so that our partners here know who they can approach if they have any questions. So I just quickly, because in the interest of time, I just introduce them. On my left here is Tom Papa. Tom is the Director of Partnerships in Africa, Sales and Partnership in Africa, overseeing all our partnerships in the specific countries that we operate in Sub-Saharan Africa. To my immediate right is Angela Mondi. Angela is in charge of our global HR and administration. Mwaluko is our country manager for our Tanzanian program here. Francis is one of our regional managers in charge of one of the regions here in Tanzania. Pascal Maida, maybe you just lift your hand so that people know you. Pascal Maida is the head of East African region. He's in charge of the 6 countries in East Africa, that is Tanzania, Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, South Sudan, and Ethiopia. And John is one of the regional managers here, in charge of one of the regions. And then Nancy Winde is our head of marketing for our global operations. We have another KickStart staff from the US. Hisham. Oh, you came late. So Hisham is from US. You are our New York office in charge of fundraising. Thank you so much, please. So that's just a team that was involved in this, but of course we have a much larger team spread across Sub-Saharan Africa and a small region in the US. So I just want to make 1 or 2 points before I invite the co-founder and the chief operating officer for KickStart, Dr. Martin Fisher. And just a few remarks. Why we are here. We are here to learn and to connect, to learn about KickStart and why we are here, we have gathered here today. But before I welcome Martin, I just want to remind us that we live in a cash economy, meaning that you really need money or actual cash to do anything if you live in Africa. And therefore, when we started KickStart about 1 year ago, we knew the number one need of a poor man is a way to make a lot of money. Because we know with money you can do just everything. If you don't have it, there's nothing you can do. It's just that simple. And that's what has been driving us for the last 30 years, 20, 25 years of that, we've been focusing on small modern education. And 2 important events took place this week in Sub-Saharan Africa. The inaugural Africa Climate Summit that was happening in Nairobi, started on Monday, also closed today. And the African Food System Summit Forum, GRM, which was happening here. And KickStart participated in both events. We had a team in Nairobi, and some of us were here in Dar es Salaam. One thing about these 2 events, 2 important things were being discussed and highlighted. And this is climate change and food systems in Africa. And this is what KickStart has been doing for all these years. This is the message we've been carrying around in every place we've gone to, in this continent, in Europe, and in America. We've been talking about climate change. We've been talking about how we can empower the smallholder farmers to become food sufficient and income independent. And to tell us more about KickStart and what we do, how we do it, whom we work with, and why what is being spoken about And what has been spoken about this week in Nairobi, Kenya, is important. It's none other than Dr. Martin Fisher. Dr. Fisher is the co-founder and CEO of KickStart International. And I want to welcome Martin to take the stage.
Great, thank you, Peter. Thank you, everybody, for being here. On this Friday night, so I appreciate you taking the time to be here. And just to say, Gezi, his honorable body, distinguished delegates, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, I got that right.
Yeah, welcome.
And our schedule is a little bit disrupted. I have a presentation here. I'm going to go through it quite quickly because the time is a bit short. When you invite the press, you never quite predict what's going to happen. That's what we did here. We invited the press. They insisted that we go out and do that little exercise outside. That's what's supposed to happen. So as Peter has told us, we founded KickStart, this is a non-profit social enterprise founded in Kenya in 1991. We called it AfroTech at that time, and we changed the name to KickStart later. And it's a very simple mission. Millions of smallholder farmers make a lot more money, as Peter said. Without money, you can't do anything. With it, you can do anything you want. Climb out of poverty, of course, and adapt to climate change. This is our mission. This is what we've been doing all these years.
We all know about
80% of the poor in sub-Saharan Africa, the smallholder farmers, and of course we all know what happens. They have low yields, low incomes, they can't afford the inputs for the next planting season, and they're trapped in the cycle of poverty. Everybody understands that. We need to have an escape from that challenge. So how many millions of smallholders make a lot more money? Well, it turns out by far the best way for millions of them across the continent is to move rain-fed farming to irrigated farming. And why is this? Well, with rain-fed farming, they grow low-value staple crops. They all harvest at the same time, once or twice a year. They flood the markets, they get low prices, something like 40% of spoils before it's even sold. And of course, if the rain comes, they don't get no problem at all. Or if it gets washed away in floods. With irrigation, you see all this. You get high-value crops, fruits, vegetables, and you get multiple harvests a year. In fact, you can harvest every day, especially in off-seasons. You get high prices at the farm gate, and you can save your crops, both your rain-fed crops and your irrigated crops, if the rains fail. Because you have an irrigation system, and then after a flood, you can replant food. Because you don't have to wait for the next rain season to do it. And so really moving from sort of low-value, failing subsistence farms into highly profitable, resilient family farms is what irrigation is all about. And just to review that again very quickly, with irrigation, you grow and sell high-value fruits and vegetables off-season between the rain-fed harvest, prices are high, we call it the hungry season, prices are high, right? We avoid those rain-fed harvests. We plant and harvest and sell multiple cycles of crops per year, easy market access. In fact, the buyers come to the farms to buy at that time because there's no other food on the market. So market access is not a challenge. And you make most of your money when at the end of the dry season. So you have a lot more money also to invest in your rain-fed crops in your business. And you make other investments and you just make a lot of money. And you adapt to climate change, as I said. We know what happens with climate change. Rains are no longer predictable, come at different times, they come and then they stop, more big storms and floods. Water high periods, you know all that. Again, irrigation, you planting throughout the year, independent of rains. Year-round food income security, saving your rain-fed crops, and replanting after floods. So it's really the best possible thing you can do. Has huge impacts. And across the world, 20% of farmland is irrigated. Produces 40% of the food and 60% of the value. Right? Across Asia, over 40% is irrigated. In India, over 52% of farmland is irrigated. In sub-Saharan Africa, where we are, 4% of farmland is irrigated. Right? And most of that is where in South Africa, Madagascar is not even on my map, and Sudan. Right? And we have annual hungry seasons as a result, and almost all be able to adapt to climate change.
right? So there's virtually no irrigation in sub-Saharan Africa. Now, we have plentiful water resources. We have a huge number of rivers, springs, lakes, and we have a huge amount of shallow groundwater. So you can dig hand-dug wells, get into these aquifers, shallow aquifers. But it's as simple as a hole in the ground on the left, or a well on the right. But that water is there. We're using less than 5% of our renewable groundwater as surface water. And something like 20% of all farmers in sub-Saharan Africa actually access the shallow groundwater or surface water right on their farms. Right? So they can access it. If they can't, they can go to catchment. And again, from a single hole in the ground to a lined catchment with catching rainwater with a line. So it's a huge amount of water, that's not the problem. The problem is that it didn't have any solutions. Limited history, limited knowledge about irrigation, and limited rural access to electricity or petrol for pumping. Really no affordable technologies for the smallholders here. And that's what KickStart set out to do. We said, let's develop affordable, easy-to-use technologies that people can pull water from the ground and use to irrigate, right? So human-powered irrigation pumps. Why human-powered? Because, like I say, petrol is expensive. It's hard to get. There's a huge amount of human energy out there. Just like humans, when you're going from walking, you don't go and immediately buy a car. You ride a bicycle first, right? So we're taking that first step, and that's what we're all about here. And how do we design our pumps? We have very strict design criteria for our pumps. They're very farmer-centered designs. We work with farmers on the design. We design them all in Kenya, in our workshop there. Highly affordable is our first design criteria. You have to recover your cost in one season, in 3 months. The first harvest, you have to more than recover your costs. It has to be extremely strong and durable. It has to be dirty water, not just clean water. It has to be very gender-friendly to use, right? Women have to be able to use this, which is why we design it with a lot of women farmers. Easy to use and install and maintain without training or tools. Farmers don't own tools. They don't own a screwdriver. They don't own a hammer. So you have to be able to assemble it, take it apart, maintain it without any tools, just 2 hands. Efficient, pressurized hosepipe irrigation. Why? Because we don't want to waste a lot of water. You're doing human power, so you take it with a hosepipe, as you've seen out there, you put it right on the plants. Has to be portable. You have to carry the pump to the field. You can't leave it in the field. You have to take it home every day. It has to be lightweight. Manual operation, no fuel required, very high energy efficiency. You don't want to work hard, so it has to be easy to use, get a lot of water, right? So that's why you've seen our pumps already out there, but you've seen our Moneymaker Max. This is a treadle pump. As Peter explained, it pulls water from 7 meters deep, and it can lift it another 7 meters vertically or 200 meters on flat ground. Very efficient hosepipe irrigation, irrigates up to 2 acres of land. And it's retailing in Tanzania, including all the hosepipes, suction hosepipe, pressure hosepipe, filter, and nozzle for about 420,000 Tanzania shillings. That's a lot of money. So a number of years ago, we designed something we call the hip pump. And this operates, as Peter explained outside, with a rocking motion. And instead of a hand pump where you do this, pumps get very tired. You can see the motion there is like this. You can do this all day, just by putting a pivot out there. Again, it pulls water from 7 meters, pressurized at 7 meters, 150 meters on flat ground, irrigates about 1¼ acres. And that pump was selling for 310,000 Tanzanian shillings. Still a lot of money, but again, with the hose pipes and spare parts. That's the retail price in the local shops, right? What do? We mass produce these pumps in China. We sell them through private sector importers and distributors, who on-sell them to local retail shops. In Tanzania, our importer here is Kaza Tanzania Limited. I think we have a representative in the room. We sell through TFA retail shops. So hundreds of retail shops around the country sell these pumps. And the same thing all across Africa with in different countries, right? Why are we doing this? Because we want a sustainable supply chain for the pumps and the spare parts. And people have to make money selling these things, which means the local retail shops are selling them and accessories. And then we partner, and you can see some of our Tanzania partners highlighted in the top there, some of you in the room here. We partner with literally hundreds of organizations to reach the farmers and educate the farmers about irrigation and help get the farmers access to these technologies. So we over 300 partners all across sub-Saharan Africa using our pumps in their programs. We train them on irrigation. We train their farmers on irrigation, something we call agropreneurship, which is how to make money in irrigated agriculture. And we train the farmers, we train the trainers. And we work with these partners to promote the pumps. We have our partnership and promotion offices. We do a lot of farm demos, a lot of field days, a lot of trainings, exhibits and shows, radio and TV promotions, call-in shows, and our agripreneurship training, as I was telling you, training of trainers. And if you just look at that picture on the lower left there, here you can see two fields. Both of those fields are irrigated. Okay? But the one on the left is irrigated, but it's planted like a rain-fed field, where the plants are far apart, which you have to do with rain-fed farming. The one on the right with irrigation, you can actually plant much closer together. So even though you get a big step up from irrigation, you can even do better with a bit of training. We train the farmers, we train lead farmers, and we're now also digitizing our training with video, with cell phone training modules in order to make it even easier to use. Just very quickly, the history. We started promoting these pumps in 1999 in Kenya. We were called Aprotec back then. We moved into Tanzania in 2002, Mali and Burkina 2004, Zambia 2011. Now we're working in 17 sub-Saharan African countries. And we have our hubs here, regional hubs in Kenya. Our headquarters in Kenya, in Nairobi. And then regional hubs in Kenya, Zambia, and Nigeria. And of course, I talked about Tanzania. We're here in Tanzania. We're relaunching. We had a break, I mentioned, during COVID. We had a break for a couple of years where we didn't do a lot here. Now we're really here to relaunch our Tanzania program. We have actually already sold over 60,000 pumps in Tanzania over the years since 2002, but now we're going to relaunch and really get down to some serious business of promoting these pumps. Do the farmers make money? Yes, they make money. On average in East Africa, they're making $700 in new profits and wages per year. Okay, so that's a lot of money. But it's most importantly, they make it year-round. It's not just once a year. They're making it year-round, so they pay for food, they pay for education, they adapt to climate change, they make new on-farm and off-farm investments, they send their kids to school, they can plan for the future for the first time. And we really think about that as climbing out of poverty. When you have enough money, you're not worried about where money's coming from the next meal, you're not worried about sending your kids to school, and you have more money that you can actually plan for your life, plan for the future. And people make a lot of money. I've literally met kids in the subway in New York City who tell me, my mom bought one of those pumps when I was a small boy, paid for my primary, paid for my secondary, now I'm here at university in America. That's the kind of money that people are making. So you can take a huge step out of poverty. And not only that, but as we're tackling climate change, global inflation, all the challenges we're facing here, insurgencies and refugees, there's other impacts too, and these are proven impacts. We do a lot of impact studies with internally and externally. So I've talked about resilient livelihoods, of course. We're talking about jobs for women and youth. We need millions and millions of youth employed in Africa. They don't want to do their parents' farming where you get paid once a year. With irrigation, you can get paid every week. You can make a lot of money, not a small amount of money. That's the kind of jobs that the young people today need and deserve. And then they make other investments, right? And as I said, even their rain-fed crops increase. They adapt to climate change, as I've explained. Empowering women and girls, and why is that? It turns out that about 50% of our pumps are managed by women. Traditionally, women in Africa have brought the water. We know that. They go collect the water, and also vegetables are often thought of as women's work. What that means is that very often it's the women who manage these pumps and making a lot of money themselves. Of course, improved nutrition, security, food security, nutrition, health, and mental health, it turns out. Again, we have randomized controlled trials to prove this. Massively reduced stunting in the kids in these families. Kids between 6 months and 24 months grew an extra 1.2 centimeters. Huge impact on stunting compared to those who didn't have pumps. Improved mental health for women. Again, very strong studies around this. Reduced marital violence. You don't fight about money anymore. And reduced risky sexual behavior by teenage girls. All these things are things which have proved in randomized control trials with families getting these pumps. So huge impacts apart from just making more money. When you have more money, life is better. On top of that, if you're giving a rural loan to a farmer, and if you're a microfinance organization, if you are financing seeds and fertilizer and the rains fail, you lose your money. You don't get your money back. So it's very risky financing farmers. But if you're financing a farmer with an irrigation pump, you know that farmer's going to make money whether the rains come or not. And they're going to make a lot of money, and they're going to become a very, very good customer for you. So we de-risk those loans, and it's great to give loans now to farmers with irrigation pumps. More and better education, like I say, more kids are in school. a family, what they do, first they feed their family, then they send the kids to school. That's the priority. So we're having kids in high schools, in colleges, and improved household hygiene. You have more household water as well, because now you've dug a well and you have the pump, you can bring it right to the house. So you also have improved health around that. Environmental protection is water efficient irrigation we're talking about. We use renewable ground and surface water, zero CO2, of course, with human power, and greenery year-round, and planting a lot of trees. Something like 150 million trees have been planted already with these pumps. Something like 150 million. That's not a small number of trees over the years. In fact, we're reaching 12 SDGs with irrigation. Just a huge amount of impact across the board when farmers make more money, as we said. So how have we done? We've sold over 390,000 pumps. Not everyone who gets a pump creates a very profitable business, but something like 80% of them really do. So 290,000 highly profitable family businesses, 230,000 jobs. They're making between them about $200 million in new profits and wages every year, these businesses. Okay, it's a lot of money going into these farmers. 1.5 million people have actually climbed out of poverty, women, men, and children, as a result of this. And 15 million people are eating from the fruits and vegetables fully amount that they need from these farms. So some very serious impacts here. You try to create those with any other methodology, it's not going to be easy. And you can see the growth there in our impacts over the years. But it's a drop in the bucket. 1.5 million people is a drop in the bucket for people getting out of poverty. We need so much more has to be done. Sub-Saharan Africa has to get to 20% irrigated if we want any hope of feeding this continent, right? And like I said, we're about 4% right now, right? And if we want any hope of creating all those jobs that have to happen for the youth, we need irrigation to give the youth big incomes, right? So to get there, we have to have a bigger strategy. So we innovate new technologies. You're going to see one of them. You've seen one of them tonight. But not only technologies, but also the tools for educating farmers and also methods of financing pumps. So we also work on that. And then we work with partners. You've seen a list of our partners, but over 350 partners that we work with to distribute these new innovations, to reach farmers, to educate these farmers, create private sector supply chains so the pumps and the spares are locally available. And then we help the partners to meet their needs. Whatever it is that a partner is trying to do, whether they're trying to empower women, whether they're trying to create more education, whether those partners are trying to include food security, whatever it is, we know that irrigation can help. So we're helping all these partners to reach their goals as well, and helping the smallholders to reach their goals of climbing out of poverty, of course. But we have to collaborate in order to irrigate Africa. And this is what we're talking about, massive collaboration and partnerships. In order to get there. Today we're launching the new starter pump. You already did get a preview of it out there. But this is our lowest cost pump, the lowest cost pump in Africa. 6 meters suction depth, 7 meters pressure, 150 meters on flat ground, irrigates up to 3/4 of an acre if you operate it for 3 or 4 hours in the morning, 2 or 3 hours in the evening. Very, very easy to operate. You saw Peter operating with 2 fingers. It weighs 2.5 kilos. It's extremely portable. Very easy to use. It's got a surge chamber. You might notice that green surge chamber there. You saw it outside. That allows pulsed water. When you're pushing, it pulses. But now it's smooth water. You can power a sprinkler with it. So instead of the water coming, it now just comes smoothly because of that surge chamber there. And so it can power sprinklers. And this is now going to be retailing in the local shops with the hose pipes and the spare parts and the surge chamber for 200,000 Tanzanian shillings. And this is what we now have huge hopes for getting for very, very poor farmers. And once somebody starts irrigating with this, it's very easy to make enough money. Of course, you pay off your pump in the first season. In the first 3 months, you've more than paid for your pump. But on top of that, you've now made enough money. If you want to upgrade to a solar pump, you want to upgrade to a petrol pump, no problem. You're making enough money to do that, right? And you can always come back to your human-powered pump when the sun doesn't shine or when your solar pump breaks down, which they tend to do. So we really call this the starter pump, precisely that. It's the first step out of poverty for so many people. I'm going to tell you one story about the guy who got the very first prototype of this pump. This is a guy called James. He lives north of Nairobi in Kenya. And he quit his job at a coffee factory because he was making 5,000 shillings a month, which is about $50 at that time, $50 US. And he couldn't survive with his family on $50 a month. So he quit his job. and he rented a plot of land by a little stream, and him and his wife got out there with buckets and started irrigating with buckets, and already they managed to make more than that $50 a month. And then we met him, and we wanted someone to test this early prototype of this pump, and so we actually donated this pump to him. He immediately rented, after that, 2 acres of land along that little stream, and it turns out the renting land in the dry season is very, very cheap. He's not far from Nairobi. He's paying only a couple, like $10 to $20 per year to rent that plot. It's very cheap to rent land because it's just unused land otherwise. He immediately employed 4 people. He's a very ambitious guy, help on the farm. And since that time, his wife has opened a shop. He sent his kids to top schools, and he built a large house at home. And he's bought a solar pump, and he uses that when the sun is shining. Of course, many times it's cloudy days, and the solar pumps don't work. And then he falls back on the manual pump. So he uses the 2 of them together. So solar pumps are magic when the sun shines. If it's not shining, you're kind of out of luck. So it's good to have both. And his typical ROI, we visited him not long ago. He'd just harvested 6,000 cabbages on less than half an acre of land in 90 days, and he sold them for, $2,800 profit. Okay, and that's not bad money in 90 days on a very small plot of land with irrigation. But I talked to him just about a month ago, and I asked him, okay, what else have you done with your money? And he told me about the fact that his kids are in school. He told me about his house at home. And he said, and I'm saving some money. And I said, how much are you saving? He told me in that 6 years, he has now saved $50,000 US saved. And he is now buying a plot of land in Nairobi with a pump which is retailing for 200,000 Tanzania shillings. So the impacts you can make with irrigation are absolutely huge. And that's what we want to keep in mind. And the reason they're so big is because you're selling high-value crops in the off-season between the rain-fed harvest when the price is high. And buyers come to your farm. Access to market is not a problem, right? Even on a very, very small plot of land, you can actually mint money because there's so little irrigation in the continent and in Tanzania and Kenya at this time. So that's the story, and thank you. Great. And I think now, John, we're going out. What's next? We go outside?
Ladies and gentlemen, please round of applause to Martin.
No, we have a few people, witnesses. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, I think we have a few people who are going to come up and talk about their experiences with the pumps. We're going to see a little video about a farmer and experience with the pumps here in Tanzania. And I think our farmer friend is even in the room here. So
yes. So please, your attention to the screen. This is Morogoro in Vomero. It's 2 weeks ago when we took the video. So basically, as he's priming the pumps, he has to put water into the cups first.
Kwa jina naitwa Lucas Kimoko, ni mkazi wa kijiji hiki cha Kipera, kata ya Mlali, mkoa huu wa Morogoro. Na pampu hizi nimezipata tangu mwaka 2018. Sasa tuna miaka 5 nayo. Mwanzo tuliteseka sana kwa sababu tulikuwa tunatumia kumwagilia kwa kutumia vindoo kama hivi. Lakini baada ya kupata pampu hizi, sasa zimetuletea urahisi wa mambo. Tumerahisisha mambo. Kwa kweli mwanzo tulikuwa tunalima robo eka. Lakini sasa hivi tuna uwezo wa kulima heka moja. Kwa mazao mbalimbali ya mboga mboga, mahindi kama unavyoona vile, na kadhalika, vile kulingana na vile hitaji letu. Kwa hiyo tunashukuru sana, imetuletea maendeleo mengi. Tumejenga nyumba 3 kwa kutumia kilimo hicho na kumwagilia hiki, na tumesomesha watoto wengine tayari washakuwa sasa hivi mekanika, mafundi magari wako mjini huko kwa kutumia pesa hizi za mashine. Kwa hivyo tunasema tunashukuru sana. Hata hivyo mama watoto atazungumza, ataongezea kwa ambayo tumengine tena. Karibu mama.
Asante. Kwa majina naitwa Gata Robati, mkazi wa Kipela, wilaya ya Mvomero, mkoa wa Morogoro. Nashukuru kwa kutuletea hizi pampu za Moneymaker. Kwanza tulikuwa tunateseka sana kwa kweli. Tulikuwa tunabeba maji kwa ndoo kichwani, tunashika mikononi, hata yani unachoka mtu, mpaka unachoka. Yani hata maisha yenyewe yalikuwa magumu, yani kwanza ufurahia hata maisha. Lakini cha kushukuru sasa hivi hizi zimeturahisishia hizi mashine za Moneymaker. Tunamwagilia kwa eneo kubwa, yani natumia eneo kubwa.
Mwanzo ilikuwa tunaona ni jambo litakuwa gumu, lakini baadaye likawa kumbe ni jambo rahisi sana. Mimi na pump, mama watoto anamwagilia. Au mama watoto anakuja kumwagilia. Siku za weekend watoto wanafunzi wakiwa hawakwenda shule wanakuja wana pump, mimi namwagilia.
Tumepata hela kwenye mboga, tunapanda mboga za kila aina kama hivi mahindi tumepanda. Kwa hiyo hata kipindi kile cha mvua zilikuwa ngumu sana, lakini kwa kutumia tunamwagilia kama hivi tunategemea tutapata hata chakula baadaye kuanzia mwezi wa 11 tukapata chakula tukaendeleza maisha. Kwa hiyo tunashukuru sana, hizi mashine zimetusaidia kimaendeleo, watoto tunawasomesha, tumejenga na tunaendelea. Kwa hiyo tunashukuru na tunawaomba tena hata siku zingine mkatuzidisha, mkatuletea tena maendeleo kwa njia zingine.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce our farmer Lucas. Mzee Lucas, naomba usimame. Please give him a round of applause. He's had the pumps for 5 years plus. He's built a 3-bedroom house. He's educated his children, and he's a model farmer. Very interesting point about what he's doing there. Most of us think, wait, why is he watering maize? Is this a rain crop? Well, what they do, for those of you who know in Tanzania, there's corn that is being roasted on the side of the street. So I work with, on a side note, I do something with the Ministry of Industry and Trade collecting market price information. So I know the prices in the market. Maize is roughly 1,050 shillings a kilo. That's maize. But if you go on the, how many of you have eaten maize lately on the street? Wangapi? And how much is it? 1,000. 500. Some places it's 1,000, but it's basically 500. So he's getting more money growing maize as a snack in the off season. So don't despise maize, gentlemen. It could be better than a cabbage. So asante sana, please a round of applause for Lucas. When we went there to shoot the video, actually the ground was dry. You could see it was cracked and there was no, but then you see the maize there enjoying itself because of irrigation. So once again, this does work, and I think we're excited to see what it can do in Tanzania. So next, we would please, Martin, I think we need to ask you, we are continuing with some at least remarks, aren't we? Or would we like to, yes, so could you, exactly. So, and yes, Peter, please, could you come and do that for us? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to our farmer. If you are very keen, you saw the neighboring plot was very dry, and his plot was quite green. And that is the magic of irrigation. You can actually do this year round, independent of the rain. Now, to take us further, we just have some of the partners. Of course, we appreciate those that have come, doing a great job with us. But in the interest of time, we couldn't have all of you say something. But we just want to, I don't know if they are in the house, Lydia Mshengezi, who is the nutrition specialist for Action Against Hunger. And then it'll be followed by Thomas Shavu, the program coordinator for AD, Anglican Diocese of Kagera. If they are in house, you can just come and greet people in 1 minute, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Yes, my name is Lydia Mushengezi, and I work with Action Against Hunger. It's an international organization that is centered or focusing at treating acute malnutrition, but also preventing all forms of malnutrition. We work with children, we work with women, we work with adolescent girls and boys, because these are the most vulnerable groups that most of the time they are left, they are neglected, they are not considered as important groups. But again, in the cause of treating and preventing hunger, we came also to realize that only providing treatment and also trying to prevent using the most common known social behavior change communication is not really effective. So in the cause of establishing resilience, we do food security and livelihood programs, but also we address other challenges, including issues related around water, but also sanitation and hygiene. However, this evening, I would just want to say that the work that KickStart is doing is quite commendable, because as Action Against Hunger, we came to realize that, again, even if you want to promote food production, for instance, if you want to promote anything related to livelihood, still we are facing a number of challenges. We are talking of climate change, for instance, nowadays, and it's something that keeps on arising every now and then. And because of that, the normal ways of food production are not really helping us as much as it can be, just as it has been presented here before us. And we can all agree that a country like Tanzania, for instance, it was supposed to be not only self-sufficient in terms of food produced, but also I would expect it to really be on markets for food exports. However, at some point, for some areas across the country, you will also realize that there is a challenge in terms of having being food secure throughout the year. Action Against Hunger, for instance, we work in 2 regions in the central Tanzania, that is Dodoma and Singida, and those regions known to be a bit dry when compared to other regions as well. So these are the regions where food production is not bad, but again, because they experience a very short period of rain, then they will produce the most staples and lack the other side of the food. And that is to say, at some point in time, they miss a lot in terms of diversified meals. So as part of our work and trying to promote food security, we have been working with the KickStart, and again, KickStart was able to supply us with the manual pumped, bipedal pumped machine, irrigation machine, and they have been helpful and supportive to the smallholder farmers that we are currently working with. Just to highlight that we have one testimony that I did not prepare to present it today, but just to share a bit of it. We have one farmer, he's a young man, around 30, 35 years. He gave us his story, and it was a bit of, it was exciting to almost everyone, because initially he was engaged in selling second-hand clothes. And it's an activity that, according to his story, he had done it since he was around 20 years. But of recently, he learned about irrigated farming, and specifically on horticultural production. Then he said that he would rather try it and see if it could make any change in his life, because he has always desired to see a change in his life. So he started slowly with a very small piece of land, not even a quarter, an acre, but tried to adopt as much as climate smart agriculture measures as much as he could. And today, as we stand here, that young man has stopped to do the selling of clothes, and has decided just to invest in agricultural production, but part of it being because now he has something that is really useful on his ground. So this is to say that, looking on what is happening in the world, we still need a lot of innovations like what KickStart has done, but also we need to scale it up because it has quite been useful. So I just want to commend again KickStart for the work that they are doing, and I believe that this is one way to transform our agriculture, transform our diet, transform our nutrition as well, given that for those who have accessed the recently released TDHS results, you can also see that we still have challenges. So we have a challenge that we are having unacceptably high rates of stunting nationally, but again, what are we doing in terms of production and what else can we do so that we can have a better nation for everyone? Thank you so much. I wish to stop here. Thank you.
Habari za jioni. I think you don't mind if I speak Swahili, will you? Asante sana. Kwa majina naitwa Thomas William Shavu. Ninafanya kazi na kanisa la Anglican Diocese ya Kagera kwenye wilaya 3 za mkoa wa Kagera, Ngara, Kyerwa na Karagwe. Tofauti na kanisa kufanya kazi za injili, tunafanya kazi kadhaa za kilimo na utunzaji wa mazingira. Mkoa wa Kagera ni miongoni mwa maeneo ambayo yameathiriwa sana na climate change. Kuna shida sana. Zamani mvua zilikuwa zinanyesha sana, lakini siku hizi mvua hazieleweki na wakulima wanahangaika sana. Kwa hiyo sisi kama kanisa tuliona sio vyema tuache wakulima, tukaamua kuanzisha miradi ya kilimo pamoja na utunzaji wa mazingira. Kwa hiyo tunatumia sana pampu za Moneymaker kwa ajili ya kuwasaidia wakulima kwenye vikundi. Kwa sasa tuna wakulima takribani 2,000 ambao wanajihusisha na shughuli za umwagiliaji. Lakini pia tunajaribu kujenga matenki ya kuvuna maji ya mvua ili mvua zinazonyesha zisipotee na hivyo kuwasaidia wakulima kumwagilizia. Kwa hiyo kanisa linafanya kazi kubwa kwa kweli ya kuelimisha wakulima kwa sababu wanahangaika sana. Na tumemuona Mungu kwa kutumia pampu za Moneymaker pampu. Mpaka sasa hivi wakulima wanaweza wakazalisha walau mara 3 au mara 2 kwa mwaka. Lakini kwa kutegemea mvua wangeweza kuzalisha mara 1 tu. Kwa hiyo hizi mashine kwa kweli zimetusaidia sana na kuna shuhuda nyingi kutoka kwa wakulima ambao wanatumia pampu hizi. Kilimo cha mboga mboga na matunda kwa mkoa wa Kagera hasa wilaya ya Ngara kimewasaidia wakulima wengi kupeleka watoto wao shule. Ni ukweli usiopingika kwamba Ngara inazalisha parachichi nyingi sasa hivi katika mkoa katika nchi yetu ya Tanzania, na kwa kiwango kikubwa umwagiliaji umesaidia sana. Kwa hiyo naweza nikasema kwamba KickStart mmetusaidia sana. Mmewasaidia wakulima wetu. Kwa hiyo sasa hivi wale watu ambao walikuwa hawana furaha wana furaha kubwa sana. Na sisi kama kanisa badala ya kuhubiri tu injili, tumeonekana sasa tuna maana kwenye jamii. Huwezi kuwahubiri watu ambao wana njaa, huwezi kuwahubiri watu ambao wana matatizo mbalimbali. Kwa hiyo tunafanya kazi ya kuhubiri injili pamoja na kuwaelimisha namna ya kuzalisha chakula kingi zaidi ili watu tunaowahudumia tuwahudumie kimwili na kiroho. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much. The partners, you represented all our partners here in Tanzania. Thank you so much. And now, as Martin indicated, one of our major partners, of course, we design the pumps, we manufacture them, but somebody has to bring them in the country and sell them. And so I'm honored to invite Mr. Gabriel Nyanze, who is the Managing Director of KickStart International Appointed Distributor here. Please come in 1 minute to just greet people so they know whom they can deal with.
Good evening, everybody. we've just had some very powerful testimonials from the gentleman and the lady who's just spoken. My name is Gabriel Nyanje, as you've been told. I'm the director of KUZA Tanzania Limited, and I'm partnering with KickStart as their distributor. And I'm using the name partnering because it's actually partnering. We are working together with them to ensure that all the farmers have the pumps in good time, at the right place, and in the right condition, and at the right price. So our role will be to ensure that farmers around all over the country get the pumps as whenever they need it. And it will be prompt when they want it. It will be at the right price. And that is what we'll be doing for KickStart. And what we are asking everybody in the room is let's also partner together. Yeah. All these farmers, the smallholder farmers, can actually produce so much. We want them to effectively and sustainably join the food ecosystem. And these are the guys who feed us. If you look at those small farmers, as John has just mentioned, the maize that we eat on the streets, it comes from the small farmers. How do they produce it if they can't get water? So KickStart, us as KUZA, as distributors, and you as partners, we want to work together to ensure that the small farmers join the food ecosystem and we feed the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. And at this juncture, I'm honored to introduce our first keynote speaker. And I want to welcome His Excellency Mr. Marco Lombardi. Mr. Marco Lombardi is the ambassador of Italy to Tanzania. He's a career diplomat. He served in different countries. One of them, Japan, I think you've served twice. And we are so appreciative, sir, for coming to grace this occasion. Please welcome to give us a keynote address briefly to the people.
Dear guest of honor, protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, mabibi na mabwana, habari za jioni, mimi ninaitwa Marco Lombardi, ni balozi wa Italia nchini Tanzania. Karibu sana. I'm very happy to be with you tonight because we are talking about a very important issue that is linking us together as humankind. The correct use of water. Like water in Swahili is maji, and is one of the first words that I've learned in Swahili because it's extremely important for everybody. Another word that I've learned in Swahili is afia, that means health. So I think that these two words are two key words for a sustainable and health development of Tanzania. So I'm very glad that I'm here with my friends tonight and we are discussing about this important issue. As Italy, we are strongly committed to create a win-win scenario, like a developing environment. We have our agency for international cooperation working on many different projects for create canals, to create irrigation, and probably with the tools that were explained tonight, that were showcased tonight, probably there will be even there will be more opportunities in order to bring wealth to small farmers and to create a massive health and especially massive welfare all around the country. Tanzania is a very big country, is 3 times bigger than Italy. The population of Tanzania is the same population of Italy, and is a very young population. So I think that water, the access to water, is very important for assuring the full development of this country, this amazing country. As the President Samia was saying last night in the State House, you know, we are all beautiful because our country is beautiful. So that's why I would say that I totally agree, because you are a great people, of beautiful people, very polite and kind, and so we really want to work with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And now at this juncture, allow me to invite our guest of honor, who is standing in for the Minister for Agriculture. As you know, the Minister has been busy the whole of this week. Right now, there's an event that is actually going on in Zanzibar, a GRF event, and so we understand. I want to invite Professor Kenneth Bengesi, who is the Director General of the Sugar Board of Tanzania. Professor Kenneth is a career academician. He's worked as a lecturer at the University of Sokoine. He's also worked in the private sector. And now he was appointed the Director General by the President to be in charge of the Sugar Board of Tanzania, which is under the Ministry of Agriculture. Professor Kenneth, please come and give your keynote address, which is basically the speech from the Minister for Agriculture. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Peter, for a very kind invitation. Good evening, everybody. Let me find a better way to start. Maybe let me start with the protocol. The founder and the, let me start with the ambassador, Your Excellency, Ambassador of Italy to Tanzania, the founder and the CEO of KickStart International, Dr. Martin Fisher, the President and the COO, Peter Juma, the Director of Global Partnership, Tom Opapa, Tanzania Board Member, Mr. John, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. As I've been introduced, my name is Kenneth Bengesi. I'm standing here to represent the Minister of Agriculture, who was supposed to be the guest of Hannah tonight. It has been, unfortunately, he loved to be with us tonight, but it's unfortunate that he was not able to make it because there are other obligations that he has to attend. So he requested me to represent him in his capacity. When I was coming here, he gave me a specific message that I'm supposed to deliver. As you know, when you are representing someone, sometimes it is very difficult to put up your word because you can distort the message that was intended to be put across. But I will try to make sure I'm not distorting what was expected to be delivered by the minister, even though I'll try to bring in my message as well, because I tried to follow various presentations which have been made by different speakers. And being someone who has a background in agriculture, I'm not new in the field. And because I work for the government, also I know the various initiatives of the government which are currently going on, which are in line with the Tonight project that we are launching. we all understand that Tanzania is dominated by smallholder farmers. These are the majority who work day and night to produce crop that is feeding Tanzania, and they have a bit of surplus for export, because we are exporting to some neighboring countries, although we are not doing much as we would have expected. And the reason behind, because our smallholder farmers are producing at subsistence level. And why are they producing at subsistence? It's because they are facing the climate challenges, but also they are confronted with poverty. So for those two reasons, they are not able to reap much from their investment to be able to reinvest and grow their farm. So the government, by understanding the challenges that are facing farmers, has come up with so many initiatives to try to support the agriculture in the country. So the transformation is centered on tackling the key limiting factors that have hindered the growth of industry in the country. And the one factor is the intervention in irrigation. Because we know, because we have been relying on rain-fed agriculture, that's why we have not been able to optimize the potential that is existing in our country to be able to reap the benefit from agriculture. So we have developed, as the government, several irrigation schemes. As you can see from the budget, for the past 2 years, the government of the sixth phase has increased the budget by more than 300%. But out of what has been budgeted in agricultural sector, basically close to 45% is directed to irrigation. We believe as a government, once you unlock the problem of relying on rain-fed, then you are likely to unlock so many other limitations in agriculture, because you will be able now to allow farmers to grow throughout the year and maximize their production, but also increase the productivity, which is the yield per unit area. So by so doing, the government has come up with the youth program, as you have heard from the summit, the BBT, Building a Better Tomorrow. This is a specific program that is designed for youth and women, so that we can attract youth and women in agriculture and be able to utilize their capacity to further the agenda of self-sufficiency, but also produce surplus for export. BBT is also targeted to enable farmers to create access to market through incubators, which are developed in different centers across the country. So those incubators, basically they need irrigation infrastructure, and the graduates from those incubators, when they leave the incubators, they are expected to go to acquire land outside the incubate centers. They will need irrigation infrastructure to be able to increase productivity and cut down the production cost and be able to be competitive in the market. So when we see such initiatives are coming from the private sector, the government is very optimistic that the agenda of addressing the issue of poverty among our farmers, then it is in the course of being addressed in the near future. The good thing for the KickStart International, it has come up with an initiative which is very affordable. As you have seen, the water pump that we inaugurated, that we launched this evening, is the cheapest in Africa. That's what we are told. And it costs around 200,000 shillings. It means it is affordable and it is accessible because it is sold out across the country. You can find it in various stores across the country. So that it simplifies the accessibility of technology, because we have already taken the technology close to farmers where they operate. And using TFA, is it TFC? TFA, sorry. Because TFA is spread across the country, it means it creates even the most simplified accessibility to reach that technology. And the government will continue to create an enabling environment for such investors who are aiming to reach more farmers so that we can fast track the initiative of transforming agriculture in the country. So tonight, as I speak on behalf of the minister, he promised to offer a maximum cooperation to the KickStart International, to their initiative that we have launched today, and he believes you will be among the partners who will work together to support the initiative of BBT. So you are welcome. And as it was presented, this is not the first time that the government is working with KickStart International. We were disrupted by the COVID, but now we are navigating with the theme of the summit that we have now recovered, we have regenerated, now we are ready to act. So KickStart International, you are welcome to work together with the government as partner, as a real partner, and we are ready to act together so that we can address the long-standing challenges that has confronted our farmers, to enable them to be able to schedule their production season and be able to cope with the demand of our market. Having said those few remarks, I would like to share a small story before my conclusive remark. When I was young, my dad used to tell me a story, which I would like to share with you tonight. He used to tell me a very good story that there were two sailors who were sailing in a deep sea, but they were sailing in a different direction. The first sailor, he was stuck in the mid of the sea. He had a mechanical problem, and they exhausted all their soft water reserve. So they had no soft water to drink, and they were stuck, completely they were stranded. And from a distance, he saw a second sailor who was sailing on a different direction, and he pressed the whistle to ask for an assistance. And then he said, he requested for a soft water to drink. The second sailor, he knew that the first sailor, where he was standing, there was a river which was crossing at the sea. And remember, a river carries soft water. but the sea has hard water. So the second sailor told the first sailor, "You are requesting for soft water to drink?" He said, "Yes." He told him, "Where you are standing, there is soft water. You drop bucket and draw soft water to drink." Then the first sailor didn't believe what he heard from the second sailor, but he had to drop drop the bucket, and he drew water. When he tasted, the water was soft, and then he said, "Wow, this has resolved my problem." So as we followed the presentation tonight from the founder and the CEO of KickStart International, my friend is Fisher. He demonstrated that where we are standing tonight, where we are standing in Tanzania, we are standing on the potential of transforming agriculture in Africa and beyond. But we are lacking technology. And KickStart International tonight has brought the technology which will support our initiative to exploit the opportunity that we have been standing on. So I believe if we work together with KickStart International, we are likely to reach our target of changing the livelihood of our farmer, but also address the problem of poverty that has been confronting our farmers. With these few remarks, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Professor. That's a very interesting story. My grandfather used to tell me stories about a hyena and a hare. How the hyena chased the hare until it swallowed it. That was a very reflective story. Thank you so much for that keynote address from the Honorable Minister, Honorable Bashe. And now, I think I've finished my business, and now I want to hand over to Nancy and John to take us through the next phase as we plan to close.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter Juma. We appreciate you, and thank you so much, our guest, for being here today and for helping us grace this night tonight. And so we want to come to the climax of this event. We want to go out there and unveil the pump to the world and give you an opportunity for you to experience the pump, for you to test like what we did before with Peter Juma. It is now your opportunity to go out there and experience the pump. And so with the help of our guest of honor and our distinguished guest, I would like to request all of us to move out there, unveil the pump to the world, and then we will call it a night. Tell them outside. Okay, we are coming on this direction. We are all coming to this direction. But siski. Okay, okay. Okay, can we all stand? I would like you to stand on the concrete. Let's all be on the concrete. Yeah. Okay, so I want all of us on the pavement, please. I'd want us to be on the pavement. Okay, all right, because this thing is falling in front, so I don't want it to fall on people. Okay, and so, ladies and gentlemen, a time has come for us to unveil the pump, show it to the world, the pump that is going to revolutionize smallholder irrigation in Tanzania and beyond. And so I'd like to request Professor Kenneth, who is going to help us unveil the pump. You're going to pull the ribbon, and then in the count, can you help me count, right? Can we start from 5, coming down to 1? Okay, just a minute. So that will give him an ample time to pull. So when you get to 1, he will pull, and then some stuff, yes, will happen. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A round of applause, please. Let's appreciate Professor. Let's clap, let's clap, let's clap. All right, thank you so much for being here and for helping us do this together. I know it is a long journey that has happened for us to get here, for us to see the pump being unveiled. All right. And so I would request our guest of honor to show the pump to the people. We'll take a few photos. I would request our ambassador from Italy to just join the team as we take some few photos. I would request the lady from Action Against Hunger and the from Anglican Church. You can please come and help us as representing. And the farmer, yes, Lucas, please, representing the farmers in this photo tonight. Lucas, for the farmers, where are you? Yes, on this side. Okay, thank you very much. It has been such a journey. KickStart has a really strict design criteria, and for us to see this pump being unveiled here tonight, it has gone through process until it has been refined, and we are satisfied that it is worthy to take out to the world and to our smallholder farmers. So thank you so much. I think we are done with the unveiling. Okay, and so we want to do another short session. Part of our program today was also to relaunch the KickStart program here in Tanzania. We've been quiet, but we are here again with a bang. We are saying from today, we are renewing our commitment to helping smallholder farmers scale irrigation and to do more with farming. And so I'd also request our guest of honor. I know you didn't help pump here, so it is an opportunity to pump. Are the Sparkles people ready again? So as the guest of honor pumps. Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready with the Sparkles? Okay. And so again, in a count of 5, and then he's going to pump, and then we are going to declare KickStart International Tanzania program officially relaunched in this 8th day of September 2023, ready to do more with the smallholder farmers and to scale irrigation in Tanzania and beyond. So in the count of 1, okay, let's start 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. A round of applause, please. Okay, can we move this one? Am I Muchomi? Okay, we can clap for the minister, please. We can clap for the. Yeah. So we can continue interacting.